All right, so when you start a year, you've just got tons of things that you want to do, right? Maybe it's not even like when you start a year. Maybe you just always have tons of things that you want to do. You want to achieve big. You want to be successful. Now, how to go about this? Like, I often feel overwhelmed with the amount of things in my head, and even when I put them on paper, I feel overwhelmed with how much stuff I want to do. And so often, especially in the past, I've tried to do them all in a year, or maybe even in 3 weeks. I'm like, this is possible. I'm gonna achieve so much. And after the first week, I'm like, no ways can I do this. I want to stop you from doing that. I want to help you achieve your goals. So, how do you do this? Well, step one is writing everything down. Step two is choosing one thing to achieve. Seriously, just choose one thing to achieve in a year. It's pretty big, right? Now, when you choose that one thing, I want you to be specific in what you want to do. If you're like, I want to learn 3D, that's like, what does that look like? Like, explain to me what you're hoping to achieve when you say that. Or, I want to start my own business. Like, what does that look like exactly? Be clear about that goal. That goal that you're going to achieve in 1 year, what does it look like exactly? Tell yourself that, write it down. Be clear. Now you know what you want to do in a year. Now, break it down into steps, perhaps 3 months or 4 month segments. What can you do in the first 3 months that is going to take you to that point? That is a really good thing to try to do. Now, the reason why you've set this goal is because you're working towards something. And if you don't create a goal, you're never going to achieve a goal. You're never going to work towards something. By creating a goal, you're actually working towards it. Now, after a year, if you don't quite get there, you still would have traveled and got really far. So maybe you can achieve that goal in the next 3 months or the next year. You don't really know what's possible in a year just yet. But by creating a goal, you're getting there. You're going there. You're in forward motion. You are moving forward. And that's really important. But sometimes that can be overwhelming. That can be like, wow, that's huge, that's big. So now we scale it down and say, how can we get toward there? What are some of the milestones? And perhaps in the first 3 months, what can I achieve to get me there? Where is the midpoint? Where is the quarter way point? How do I get there? So come up with some ideas for that. Then make it smaller again. In this week, in the next 2 weeks, what can I do to get to that 3 month goal? Now, every time you do this, review that after 2 weeks, review that after 3 months, and readjust your plan. Because now you know what you have done, what you haven't done, and what you still need to do. You're realizing what's possible. You're realizing where you are on this journey. Sometimes your end goal might change to something else. Sometimes you might be like, I only have to do another 2 weeks worth of work before I actually get to my end goal. That's awesome. Then you can readjust. You can set another year goal or another 3 month goal, and you keep on adjusting. Now, this is for one thing, and it's really important that you prioritize this one thing, because if you try to do everything, it's like a shotgun approach. You're not going to hit anything. Seriously, you might think you're moving forward on all these fronts, but you're not really moving forward with much force. You're like super thinly spread. It's like really bad tactics if you were a war general. I'm gonna attack on all fronts with only one person in each battalion. No, it just wouldn't work. You need to focus your attacks. You need to be strategic. But I'm not saying discard the rest. Now, with the rest of the stuff, you may need to pick and choose. If you have 100 things that you want to do, you cannot do all of them. So just pick a few ones that are important. For these ones, what can you do to get to them, to achieve these goals, but on a much smaller scale? So if I'm like, I want to run a marathon at the end of the year, but it's not my main focus, I ask myself, well, what am I trying to do here? Like, what is the point of a marathon? I want to feel fit. I want to do some running. I want to, I don't know, start feeling healthy again. So I'm like, oh, health, fitness. Okay, how can I do this in a very small way? Okay, let's run for 30 minutes a day or 3 times a week. You know, just an hour and a half a week. That's pretty doable. I don't need to train for a marathon. It's not my focus. Health, perhaps I could, download an app that helps me eat healthily. Perhaps I can go on a cooking class and just learn about how to prepare really healthy food. Something like that that's a lot smaller. Perhaps you want to be more creative. So instead of becoming a freelance illustrator, perhaps you can doodle every single day. It's a very small and achievable thing. And the reason, or one of the reasons why we do this, is to make it feel like you are achieving, but not to make you feel overwhelmed, not to make it feel like you have to achieve all of these massive goals, and then at the end of the year, you're like, I didn't hit any of them. You want to achieve something. You want to get that confidence. You want to feel good about what you're trying to do. But there's going to be something that is important that you want to hit big time. So make sure that that thing is the thing you're focusing on this year. All right, I hope that helped. If you have any questions about achieving your goals, achieving your big creative things, let me know. There are a ton of different ways to think about this, and depending on who you are, what you're trying to do, if it's a team thing, if it's a personal thing, if it's a creative thing, there are different ways to approach it. All right, goodbye.